We're in Lisbon for Light Reading's 5th 2020 Vision Executive Summit. I'm here with Shahar from PCCW Global. Shahar, good to see you.
Thank you.
So we've, just during the course of the first morning at this year's summit, covered an awful lot of topics, an awful lot of ground. We've been talking about some of the options for network operators and delved occasionally into the business case. One of the big areas and topics of conversation was around whether operators should build out edge cloud platforms or who was going to run the edge cloud. What's your view from a service provider's perspective on who can play the role of providing the edge cloud?
Well, anyone can play the role. The real question here is who actually owns the resources, the facility. Telcos just simply own the facility. They own the network. Telcos don't have too many facilities in the cloud world left. We own the connectivity.
Yep.
We do not really own much of the compute and storage resources required to run applications. Historically, we are all around connectivity. But today, when services really need to get closer to the users as applications evolve, and they require all sorts of technical requirements such as low latency and stuff, proximity of the user to the resources is important, and that's where telcos can actually play a role in extending the cloud from the core, which is currently handled by the big cloud providers, the Googles and the Amazons of the world, down to the edge. Now, keeping that in mind, while technically anyone can run that edge resource, the edge cloud, what telcos do not yet have, and they will need to develop it, we as telcos will need to develop, is the ability to actually monetize from such investment.
Yes, the business case is always the big question rather than technology.
I mean, if you look at the Amazon and the Googles, they found a way to monetize cloud services. So they own the resources which are in the core, they own the data centers, they own the virtual machines and actually the physical machines that then turn into virtual machines. And they own some of the connectivity and they buy some of the connectivity and they use public internet for some of the connectivity. And they've already developed the commercial model that allows users to consume the resources and pay for them, either directly or indirectly through the content which they consume.
And build their own business cases from the capacity and storage that they're buying. So.
Exactly. And then we as telcos have not yet developed that. We are still stuck in the old days where we develop a product and we define a business model around that product, and then we sell the product. And it's not that users come and just click and go and add a payment method and it's done. We have to sell to the customer then needs to sign an order, and that needs to go into our BSS system, which then generates an order, and then we need to provision the order. It's just a different economy.
Yeah.
Now, in order to make a cloud edge effective, we need to be able to adopt the methods currently used by the cloud providers.
Okay.
And be able to sell to the customers directly.
So do you see any evidence that shift is starting to take place, or that the operators get that model and see a way to actually adopt it?
Well, we have. We at PCCW Global have done so. We have enabled our own platform, our own on-demand platform, where customers can actually come and order on demand, including extension from our own network into the core of the cloud. And we're now developing the edge capabilities as well. That would be the next thing. So the evidence is there. Yeah. In terms of connectivity on demand, that's already there.
Yeah.
Including connectivity on net between sites on our own network, and connectivity into public clouds. What we're still missing is building the private cloud or the edge cloud resources and allowing connectivity into those resources. So I think we're in an evolutionary stage where we've done part of the way, part of it is still missing. The business model is there, but we're still missing quite a few elements where we certainly do need to learn from the cloud, from the public cloud providers,
Right.
How to monetize such services, and then be able to offer them to customers. Probably one of the major challenges here is that we as telcos are able to automate our own networks. We still fail miserably when it comes to extending services to another carrier's network.
Right, yes.
That is what the challenge is. Because each telco has their own language and their own silo environment, and we're very good at activating services on that network. And then we've been able to hook into the APIs provided by the public cloud vendors and extend services into those networks. But keep in mind, there aren't too many of those. There are Google, Amazon, Azure, IBM, Ali, 5, 6, 7, 10 of those out there in the market. So it's 10 APIs to tend to. At Global, PCCW Global, we have 180 partners, telco partners.
Right.
That's 180 different APIs to tend to. And with each of those, we have more than just one possible service. So that means 180 times the number of services. That's not really scalable.
Yeah.
So we as telcos need to find a way to get the inter-carrier stuff automated as well.
I'm sure I've heard this before. In the years it took to get from one-to-one agreements to one-to-many agreements, or many-to-many agreements in the Ethernet world. So now we're going through the whole process again.
Yes, but there's no way around it. There's no way around it because...
Can it happen quicker this time, though, I guess is the question.
I think it can happen quicker because I think we as an industry are now smarter than before. We as telcos just need to figure out a way to leave ego aside and start collaborating. And that's easy to say. That's a bit more difficult to do. But there's no way around it. We cannot really get automation across carriers done when every carrier has their own language and their own methods. So everyone would eventually need to find a consensus and an agreed upon manner through which we do business with each other. And I think maybe if you really want to get it done quicker, we should probably focus on the commercial side first.
Right.
And if we sort that issue the technology
that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Show me the money and we'll come up with a solution.
Exactly.
Excellent. Well, that's a great sentiment on which to finish, and one I think we'll take into the room and debate some more here at the Executive Summit. Shahar, thank you very much.
Thank you.